know. Unfortunately, there is only 2 perfect matches among you. So you guys are not really doing really well. You only have a couple more opportunities to get all 8 perfect matches. So you guys need to go home, stop doing the threesomes and foursomes and whatnot, and really trying to find out who your perfect match is. And 2 of you are there. So hopefully in the next episode, you could send one of them to the truth booth.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am of course Hot Dogs, and we are here for another episode of The Sims 4 Are You the One? And when I left off earlier this week, we had just got back from doing our recoupling ceremony where our cast only got 2 couples correct. Of course, they don't know who those couples are. And today, at the end of today's episode, they will be sending one couple to the truth booth to hopefully figure out which couple that is. But for the meantime, our house guests are lounging around the house, trying to get to know each other a little bit more. In the living room, we see that almost everyone is gathered around the sofas per usual. We can see that Jae Young and Ariel are kind of off in the corner a little bit on their own, and the 2 of them seem to be getting very, very close to one another. They honestly haven't been getting very woo-hooey-ish, shall we say. But I think that's kind of better. They're forming an even deeper bond. Meanwhile, over in the kitchen, we see that Felicity is cooking breakfast for everyone. However, it's kind of hard to cook breakfast on your own, especially in a group this big in The Sims. So eventually we see that LaToya and Benson also make their way over to backseat cook right behind her shoulder and tell her what she needs to do to make it better. Again, I think I've talked about this before on here, but that would drive me insane, and The Sims do it all the time now since that one update. I mean, it's nice, especially when you get little kids to join, but it would annoy me personally. And we can see that eventually it does actually start to annoy Felicity, and I don't know if it's just because she's starting her period or what's going on, but she ends up just totally giving up on breakfast. She's like, you know what, you guys do it the way you want to do it. I'm going to go relax somewhere, chill out, like I don't need to be doing any extra work. I don't feel that great. And they all just kind of look around like, oh, what did we do? And they all end up just restarting on their own. Just completely redoing the whole thing. So breakfast is going to take a little bit of extra time to be ready today. As our very busy new boy Sunny takes a little nap in the bathroom and Robbie makes his way from the ocean back ashore, we see that our neighbors have actually come over and visited the house just on their own. I did not tell them to come over, and they brought some alcoholic beverages, some of that, punch that they make here on Sulani, and Felicity is the first one to come to the door and greet them and bring them inside. And now I'm just counting down the seconds until they start woohooing this new stranger. So, unfortunately, we have a little bit of a plot twist because our neighbor does not seem too impressed by our Are You the One group. He kind of drops off the beverages, welcomes them to the island, tells them where he lives, and then quickly leaves. He does not want to be associated with them at all. They're a bit too risque. So instead, we're going to have a little plan B. So instead of partying with the neighbors, we're going to do I guess it's actually plan A, because it's what I originally planned to do, and that's that we're going to send some of the household off to the beach, off to the bar, and they're going to have their own kind of group date going on to see if we can figure out any of the true perfect pairs. So I went ahead and I picked some of the Sims that I thought were getting along the most. So altogether we have Felicity, Sunny, Ariel, Latoya, Yolanda, Jonas, and Jaeyoung, all brought to the bar. I thought they all had someone that they were kind of feeling or into, and potentially with this romantic drunk setting, they would really solidify their relationship and potentially get themselves sent into the truth booth a little bit later on tonight. Now, initially off the bat, it seems like most of the Sims are more worried about getting food, using the bathroom, getting some drinks in their system, and not talking and actually having a date necessarily. But once that is kind of out of the way, there are some Sims that are now no longer distracted by that and are actually getting to know each other, and mostly that consists of Latoya, Yolanda, and Sunny. The three of them almost have like a polyamorous relationship going on. It seems as though Latoya cannot really catch a break with any guy. He's always either sharing her with someone else or hitting her. And Sunny is no exception to that. He is sharing her, flirting openly with Yolanda in front of her. I don't know, it's a really messy situation. We see that Jonas and Ariel got some food, but Ariel actually can't really focus on his food as he sees Jaeyoung has gone off onto the beach and is building sandcastles, and he nicely puts down the food and comes to join her. Now, the quick turn of events that happens right now, I can't really explain. They're all kind of talking mostly up here by the food stand, and a lot of townies end up coming over, joining the conversation, and I got kind of worried. I was like, oh no, they're all going to start focusing on all these townies. But no, instead they all strip off of all their clothes, get totally naked, and all run down to the beach to go swim in the waters, swim up to the waterfall. Even Jaeyoung and Ariel, who are out building a sandcastle, end up seeing them run past them naked, and they end up stripping off their clothes and joining them as well. And now we just have the whole group skinny dipping in the water right now as the sun has almost fully set on the beautiful islands of Sulani. While it is nice to see, I don't think this is necessarily the point I was going for. I was hoping that maybe we'd have a few couples, but instead they're all just kind of swimming together. Typical, I guess. I should have expected this. Gotta say, I keep recording and it keeps cutting off between this microphone and the microphone on my little camera. So if my audio is kind of going back and forth, I do apologize for that. And I'll try to get that situation dealt with before the next video. I kind of just discovered it. I'm not about to go back and re-record, so deal with it. Meanwhile, everyone is kind of in the water here in the game, and they're not really doing anything too scandalous, honestly. They're all just kind of talking, floating around. Nothing too crazy is happening at first. I'm like, okay, they're just getting to know each other a little bit more, I guess you could say. But soon things do get heated up. And they all start splintering off into their own groups, just like how I wanted originally, and things do get a little spicier. So everyone has now kind of formed into 3 pairs. We have Felicity and Jonas as one pair. They just now started swimming off into their own direction. And then we have 2 other couples here now kind of splashing each other. And that's going to be Jaeyoung and Ariel as one couple, and Yolanda and Sunny as another, with unfortunately Latoya has kind of been left out of the date altogether. It's kind of a bummer for her, but we now kind of have 3 couples going on. Like I said, we have 2 of them kind of splashing each other and hanging out. Meanwhile, Felicity and Jonas are the first ones to kind of sneak up on their own to get some alone time on their own private beach. So while Felicity and Jonas thankfully found a bench that they were able to swim up to and spank each other on, the rest of the group is still hanging out, well, apart from Latoya. And Sunny is actually the first one to go off on his own. I thought maybe he would start flirting with Yolanda, but no, instead he makes his way up onto the beach where he sees the sea turtle sculpture that Jae Young and Ariel had made with each other. And I don't know why, maybe just to be mischievous and it looked fun to do, but he does end up smashing their sculpture to smithereens, just destroying it, and then casually turning back around and walking into the ocean. Like, I love that they were all just hanging out and he goes, 1 second, walks into the beach, smashes it, and then just comes back into conversation like, anyway, sorry, had the urge, had to do it. I just respect that of him. However, when Sunny does come back into the water, the couples are now kind of officially separated, and he just kind of joins Yolanda. The two of them continue talking as Ariel and Jae Young continue their conversation a little bit away in the water. And of course, Felicity and Jonas are still having a grand old time on the bench, just a little bit of ways away in plain sight. I'm sure the couples kind of see what's going on over there. So that definitely kind of starts to eventually put some pressure on them to leave the water and kind of find their own place to go. And that's kind of what they do. At first, it's Ariel and Jae Young, surprisingly. They end up going off and kind of wandering around, looking around, trying to decide where they should go. Meanwhile, still completely nude, they're just running around the island naked, looking for a place to woohoo, a bush that they can jump into, you know, any kind of couches. Maybe they'll just go inside the bar. Sunny has already done that with LaToya, just inside the bar, so I'm sure they're kind of thinking about just doing that instead. Was that Sunny? God, there's been so many woohoos happening. It's hard to keep track. And again, this date is kind of expected, but also full of surprises. Like, we see that Jae Young and Ariel are getting it on, you know, slapping cheeks just in public. But the new guy, Sunny, who yesterday was hooking up with all these different house guests, you know, one by one, going through them, basically, is now the only person, well, apart from LaToya, is the only person here not hooking up. Instead, he's exchanging his first kiss with Yolanda. They're having a nice little moment on the beach, naked, together, in public. But it's still kind of romantic. Meanwhile, the other two couples around them are just totally getting it on. Like, I don't know, I wasn't really expecting that from Sunny. I thought he would definitely jump in and join the party, but he didn't. And instead, we're going to leave the state here. We're going to gather them all back home because as this episode comes to a close, we still have one important thing we need to do. And that is figure out what couple is going into the truth booth. All right, now that all of you have gathered here in the living room after this date and the coupling and everything, we can now determine who is the closest. And that couple is Jae Young and Ariel. Alright, so the two of you can stand up, go ahead and head into the truth booth, and we're going to see if you two are, in fact, a perfect match. Alright, you guys are a match. Congratulations. You two are scientifically proven to be made for one another. And you have solidified one correct answer from now on. So now we just have 7 more couples to figure out. However, because you guys are a perfect match, you don't need to be in the villa anymore. So you're actually going to pack your bags, say your goodbyes to your rest of the house guests, and you're going to head on over all the way across the island to your own villa to hang out one-on-one with each other and get to know each other a little bit more away from everyone else. And what do you guys think about Jaeyoung and Ariel? Did you guys think they were a perfect match from the beginning? Are you surprised to see that they were a perfect match? Did you see it coming? Are you excited that they have one correct finally and they're off to the honeymoon suite? Or are you disappointed? Did you want it to be a little bit messier? Like, let me know exactly what you're feeling about this series down below in the comments. I do actually read every single comment and respond. I love to hear what you guys think. And of course, if you guys like the lots, including the villa that they live in now, or the honeymoon suite that Ariel and Jaeyoung are heading to, all of these are going to be available over on the gallery, and that's of course just Sims hot dogs at the gallery, and you can download it all, but beware, I did include custom content, and if you want that custom content, just leave a comment down below. I'll fill it in. I'll let you know. I'll get you hooked up. But in the meantime, let's see how Jaeyoung and Ariel feel about their honeymoon suite. Okay, I think it's safe to say that they liked it. And we're gonna wrap up this episode of The Sims 4 Are You the One right here. Of course, I'll see you again on Monday for a brand new episode where our house guests are going to have a new coupling ceremony now that they have one couple correct. And we'll see how many more they can guess correctly. And of course, be alerted by subscribing, hitting the bell, all that stuff. I love all my beanie weenies. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to download Wicked Whims. This is a mod for The Sims 4. Now, if you click here, there's a thing that says